Cool, and welcome to our next part in the strategy and road mapping piece. We have another approach called the impact category approach. So unlike the commercial approach, which focuses on wrapping or infusing your current commercial strategy with sustainability, this one is about creating a sustainability strategy all in of itself. So let's dive right in. So thankfully, this is going to be a lot shorter than the other video. It will also come with a PDF of what I'm showing you here today. So in this approach, you're looking to start with your impact category. So looking at the areas that affect your business the most, that also impact the environment and people. And that includes, of course, commerce, because if you're B2B, you have companies that are up and down your supply chain. So that affects other communities, whether there's money flowing in or out or have monopolistic tendencies. Biodiversity and physical environment, pollution, energy, water, natural resources, waste, people, and of course human and thought leadership, which is about progress in a particular sector. And we like to sort of lean towards the Future Fit Society framework. I'll put a link in there, and they do great work. You can get them to come and consult. There's consultants all around the world that you can lean on here. So we like how they've sort of categorized those different things, and most importantly, the way they've structured what a vision looks like across all of these different impact categories, where energy is a renewable and available to all. And what a nice vision. You might not ever reach it, but that's kind of the point. You aim high and you say, well, that's what really all of us as the adults in the room should really be reaching for. Okay, so we're not just settling for what we have now, because what we have now just doesn't work. It's creating a lot of problems. So this is what we sort of lean towards. And then from there, you decide the impact categories that matter the most to you in your business. And we mentioned that in an earlier video. You can go back to the strategic considerations. So for example, your customers might be like, oh, waste is a big problem for you. You know, let's not do it. So we wrote down our future fit statements. So providing cleaner energy than what was there before, empowering communities. As just a start. So we're going, what are the most important categories look like, and how are we then going to turn them into commitments? So you do that by iteration. So here's an example of an iteration with waste. So we started by saying, hey, we prioritize waste minimization across our organization. That's not a great commitment, not a robust vision, doesn't inspire anybody. The language implies that we're only also just looking to minimize. So, but that's okay. We're just looking at getting started. So we're saying, okay, that's what we're looking at. Let's update that. So we strive to be waste-free by adopting circular economy best practices. This shows more understanding and includes a framework, circular economy, stronger commitment to waste outcomes. And team members, stakeholders will read this and go, okay, we have a bit of an idea about what you're trying to do, but it could be better. It could be more SMART. So SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So then we got to, well, we aim to be a waste-free organization through the adoption of circular economy best practices, starting with eliminating single-use plastics by 2026. So very clear, and also much more realistic and clearly tested, like given to somebody who has experience to say, yeah, this is probably where you're going to go with it. So stronger, clearer focus, as well as a more courageous commitment. Right? So once you have your commitments down, you have an idea of where you want to go, and you've got your core impact categories ready, you start to brainstorm. So actually there's sort of a step missing here. We wrote down our impact categories, and then we brainstormed all the different ideas that came about, and we kind of just organized it into a star shape because it kind of looked pretty for our team members. That's what they wanted. And then we started to cluster them. We clustered them via colors. So we said anything that's super dark green is actually stuff we can do this year. We can do now. And then lighter green, maybe in future years, or yellow, it's not relevant, or like way in the future. And when we were able to kind of cluster this, I should probably walk through an example for you here. So this is for Food Festival for Good. They're Cambodia's biggest food festivals. They get like 150,000 people in 3 days. So here, they looked at food waste avoidance. So you avoid waste by improving commerce through increased food traffic and marketing, because vendors will bring food, and if they don't sell, there's going to be food wastage. Working with vendors during the festival to promote their products according to their stock. So selling online with discounts to reduce vendor stock, because it's a few days. So if they're thinking, hey, we're going to have leftover of this, then on the festival social media, they would just promote particular products on a discount and say, hey, look, this is happening right now. You want to come and eat it. And also you get maybe this or that thing with it. And ensuring appropriate vendor ratios to ensure items are sold out, and communicating. So that you don't have 500 vendors for a 1,000-person event, for example. What they could do so that was avoidant, reduce, so better inventory management through better floor planning, less vendors, giveaways to Achais are in Cambodia. So these are like the informal group of waste collectors or recycling people that will collect like cardboard and metal, plastic bottles, and they'll sell them to live. And food recovery. So yeah, these are just some examples of ideas that came up from the impact category, and then they got organized into the year groups, like put into when these things could happen. When it actually turns out a lot of this stuff would happen at the start, and then slightly less of it the next year. A bit of a gap in 2026 for some reason, and then 2027. What happens next is that all of this information here is put into a concise brief, and then added into an infographic, which goes onto the website, onto annual reports, stakeholder information packs, whatever it is that you have, to explain to people what's actually going to be happening over the next few years. So there was a big gap that we missed here, which was going from here into a strategy document, getting that approved, and then into an actual document. But this is what that process would look like. And this could take anywhere from, depending on the size of your organization, and this is for a food festival, it can go from half a day to half a month, right? So this is the impact category approach, where you start from the impact categories that are most important to you, or the ones that you have the most impact in, or that your customers have told you that are the most important. You ideate, you create commitments, first, and then ideate, and then you organize into then a clear commitment and a strategy on communicate when you're going to do certain things, and of course to measure and evaluate. But that's a little bit later. You'll see that in the next videos.